Good evening, everyone. Sunday, and that means Sunday night satsang with John and Michelle.
Hi, everybody.
Good evening to you. We've had some lovely cleansing rain in Cape Town, a very nice environment. Very
cold.
Cleansed, cold, yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful. It's been a beautiful weekend here. Beautiful wintry weekend.
It has, yeah. Really nice. And it was Michelle's birthday on Saturday.
Yeah, it was.
Won't tell them how old, hey?
No, don't do that. Let's say
But it was a big one.
A lady's age. It was a good birthday.
Yeah, it was good. You were spoiled.
I was indeed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Beautiful day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So welcome. Tonight we are continuing in the vein of the chakras. We've been talking about that for the last couple of weeks, and tonight we're going to be looking at the throat chakra and the third eye. So we're going to be going into that. And do you have anything astrological to share?
Not really, no.
Not too much?
Not too much.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do that. And then we're going to start with a centering meditation, and then we'll do some sharing. And then Michelle will end with a lovely visualization to help balance the chakras. So stay around for that. And then we're going to give you a lovely affirmation for the week ahead. Yeah, so that's the plan for tonight.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining us. We love the community that give up an hour of their time on a Sunday night to be with us. We really appreciate it. We think this work is very important at this time. What the world needs now is more light. And when we come together as a group like this, say we're two or more are gathered, there I am. And so in a group like this, in a community like this, we are doing the work. Even though we're sitting and just connecting, that is the work. That's the real work that needs to be done. Nothing else. Just being centered for a short while together. So we really value your being with our being.
We
That's
do.
really good.
So thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
It's your Sunday. So.
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah. So let's just do the important work of the evening. Well, not work at all, but that's to bring ourselves into the present moment. That's where the real healing takes place. That's where our power is. Our point of power, as we said when we did the solar plexus chakra, your point of power is in the present moment. That's where our power lies. So let's just withdraw our mind from all other times and all other places and just become anchored in the body, in the here and now, in the present moment. So you might like to just settle back, see that you've got some nice cushions and that you're not going to be disturbed for a while. And maybe gently shut your eyes. It just helps you focus inwardly. And tonight we're going to use the portal of the body, the inner body, to bring our awareness out from the matrix, out from our story, out from our yesterdays and our tomorrows, into reality, which is always here and now. So let's just start out by taking a deep breath in, and then a beautiful long breath out. Just let it all go. Now just bring your awareness fully into your physical body. Your body is a physical organ, yeah, but it also has an energetic aspect to it, and so let's just bring our awareness into the inner body, the energy body. And one of the ways of doing that, which you can do any time of the day or night to help center yourselves if you're feeling a little bit stressed or a little bit anxious, a little bit angry or frustrated, this little exercise you can do and just brings you very quickly into the present moment. So let's just bring our awareness to your right hand. Just become aware of your right hand. Now, without looking, how do you know that you have a right hand? So what I would like you to do is just feel your hand from the inside. Just bring your awareness right into your hand and feel your hand sensationally from the inside. Be aware of your hand. Just rest your awareness in your right hand. Maybe you can feel it as a tingle. Maybe feel it as a warmth. But just check in with your right hand from the inside. It's a little exercise you can do, as mentioned, any time, and it just brings your awareness into reality. Helps you connect with the power of presence, because unless you're present, you won't be able to fully feel your hand from the inside. Bring your awareness now across to the left hand and feel your left hand from the inside. No thought is necessary, no investigation, just a feeling, just to feel fully your left hand from the inside. And you might notice the tingling, you might notice the temperature. Just notice that. Now let's take a second very deep breath in, breathing deeply in, and breathe into your hands. Breathe deep, and then a long, relaxing, surrendering breath out. And as you breathe out, just relax your shoulders. Now breathe in a third time and breathe into those hands again. Just imagine the air going into the fingers, into the fingertips. And then that beautiful, long, relaxing, surrendering breath out, dropping your shoulders. Just centering yourselves onto your chairs, onto your seats, to your bed, wherever you're sitting at the moment. And just feel both of your hands now simultaneously. Feel your right and your left hand in your awareness. Just bring your awareness into your hands and feel them from the inside. Feel the temperature in the palms of your hands. Maybe feel the tingling in your fingertips. And now in your awareness, just merge them into one hand. Just merge your hands so there's no left or right, there's just hands. Just hands. Just hands. This tingling sensation, this awareness in your hands, can be thought of as life, as presence. So let's bring that life energy, that presence, that awareness up your arms to your throat. And feel that aliveness in your throat. And drop that awareness down now into your hearts. And as we become aware of this beautiful life energy in our hearts, so we extend this life energy to embrace everyone on this call with us, this community, the Sunday Satsang community. We feel a connection from our heart to all those other unseen people who are connecting energetically with us tonight. From our heart, we connect with the heart of all of those who have joined us. And we feel this as a radiance of light, a radiance of feeling connected, feeling of community, of compassion, of caring. Let us radiate this energy out now to a broader community, and we can incorporate our friends and our families in this bubble of light, this energy of presence, this energy of life, this energy of love, this energy of appreciation, this energy of beauty. And we radiate this energy out now further into our countries, to incorporate all those beings who inhabit this planet. We see this bubble of beautiful life energy around our planet Earth. We bless the Earth. We give thanks to the Earth for being the mother our physical experiences, of our physical body. The Mother supplies all our physical needs. And in this field of love, of connection, we feel a vibration of healing from our heart into this beautiful bubble of light around the earth, bubble of healing. We raise the frequency, the vibration of the earth in our hearts. We raise our vibration in our bodies. We raise the frequency and vibration of the immune system, both individually and collectively. We bring in a very bright, radiant light to dissipate all the darkness, all the fear, all the anxiety, all the ignorance. We feel this light as a healing light for all of humanity. And as we intentionally radiate this light to all those on planet Earth at this time, we are also guided and supported from energies and love and lights from beyond the earth, who support the earth in its transformation, its transition, and its awakening. And we give thanks to all those beings, those unseen beings, who are here to guide and support us at this time. So we could say a quiet thank you within our hearts. And very gently, very softly, we bring our awareness back into our physical body, back into our heart. And we take a very deep breath in, drawing this breath of life right the way down to our toes, filling our whole body up. And then a beautiful, long, relaxing, surrendering, releasing breath out with gratitude, just letting go, trusting that life will provide your next in-breath. And when you're ready, you may slowly, very gently, open your eyes. As you open your eyes, to see how you feel in this moment. You feel a bit more centered, a bit more peaceful maybe, a bit more connected. I absolutely guarantee you right now you're more healthy. Your immune system has been improved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. Nice to have our community back. We've got a few people we haven't seen before that I've seen pop up onto the screen.
Yeah.
So
let us know where you're from. We like to know who we're talking to, and if you enjoy what we have to share, then give us a nice like or
the only way we can get it out there. So
a heart is good as well, and share. Just press the share button.
Organic reach doesn't work. So
no, it doesn't.
The only way
so we need you to share us on your timeline, and that spreads this
helpful. Yeah. So we're going to be chatting about the two next chakras tonight. It gives us a kind of a lovely theme to talk about. Astrologically, I'm not going to go into a lot because I just put out a video on the last full moon. Suffice to say, though, there's been a lot of watery energy around, a lot of maybe emotional energy. So I think a lot of people have been feeling a little bit overwhelmed emotionally. But it's also a time to clear and to release. So that's always what full moons are about. And the other thing that we do have astrologically is that Neptune has now joined the retrograde party. So we now have a number of planets retrograde. Mercury's gone direct. So hopefully the communication device issues and all that might ease up, because that's generally what happens when
maybe my emails will start working again.
Yeah, maybe the website and the emails and everything. So we can hope for that. Neptune, though, when Neptune goes retrograde, it's actually very in keeping with what we're talking about tonight, because it connects. Neptune is a planet which connects us to our deeper side, to our spirituality, to our dreams, to our intuition. And when it goes retrograde, it'll often feel that those are bigger, that we are sort of re-looking at that, literally. We might go deeper than we've gone before. We might be able to clear blocks. So it's revisiting our beliefs about that as well. So whenever a planet goes retrograde, it's about revisiting what that planet represents. So Neptune represents our connection with all that is. So this is really about, it's going to be retrograde for a long time. I think it's till October, even longer. So it's really about looking at what is our connection with the all that is. So we could call it the divine, we could call it the sacred, we could call it the source, we could call it the universe. What is our connection, and how do we connect? And are we paying that any attention? Because I think very often, especially if you look at the chakras, I think we pay a lot of attention to the lower 3 chakras, because that's what, it's our survival. It's, have we got enough food?
Humans all about, isn't it?
Yeah, have we got enough food? Are we moving around enough? Are we able to be creative and get things going? Are we able to even communicate? But when we go up to the 3rd eye chakra, it's actually more about connecting with the bigger picture. So are we spending any time on that? How much of our life force do we actually dedicate to that? Because that's usually the first thing that goes when we're stressed or when we're busy. And it's the last thing that actually should go, if there's a should.
Yeah.
They say that if you're stressed and you say you haven't got time to meditate, then meditate more.
Yeah, that's right. If you haven't got time to meditate, that's when you need to meditate more.
Yeah. And if you think about it, that's often where that's often the first thing that goes.
Yeah.
If you do a yoga practice, that's the thing that goes.
Yeah.
You do a meditation practice, you're busy, you get overwhelmed, that goes out the door.
And the reason is because we go back to our base 3 chakras.
Yeah. Just have got to do this.
Yeah. And in fact, our true survival doesn't come from the basic 3 chakras. It comes from the higher chakras. That's really our source. It's a misperception of our source. Yeah. Where we look to the physical world for our supply, but in fact it's the spiritual world that is our real source, our real supply.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that it's going to be interesting as this big shift happens, that just sort of see if dreams come up for you, if insights come up for you. You might even make contact with other realms if you're so inclined, or if that happens with you. So it can be a time where you become maybe a bit more psychic, a bit more tuned in. Yeah.
Well, we're going to be looking a bit of that tonight. Yeah.
And I think it's just important that we ground ourselves, especially this week.
Yeah.
I often say that, but when there's a lot of water, it's a lot of feeling, a lot of confusion. Neptune can represent confusion as well. So you hear one thing, you hear another thing, and you get completely confused. And where do we find our source of truth from? Where do we find our anchor? How do we ground our energy so that we're not swimming around in kind of mists of unknown? Which is pretty apt right now, I think.
And I think, just talking about this confusion and so much misinformation out there as far as, for example, our health is concerned. And I believe that what we need now is discernment. As we go through the shift, as we're going through, and a lot of uncertainty, it's not to rely upon your mind. It's not to rely upon what you are informed from the outside world. It's not to rely upon past experiences. What we need now is inner guidance. So it's discernment, and the discernment has to come not so much from your logical processing of information, but more from an inner feeling. What leads you towards love? What do you find an easier connection to? Or where is there a withdrawing, a disconnection, a pulling in, a tightness? And I would listen to the one that opens you more, that expands you. That information is more in alignment with your inner knowing, with your truth. It's that which expands and allows and opens you. So if you listen to that rather than your talking head.
Yeah, there's a lot of important decisions that people are making right now.
Yeah.
And they've got to be decisions that are taken from a place of connection.
Connection,
and not
yeah.
separation.
And connecting to source.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that all your needs and your protection, your health comes from source. It doesn't come from the world out there.
And there is
so
guidance
much.
there.
Yeah.
We just have
Yeah.
to tune into it.
listen
It's
to
like
it.
a radio station.
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah.
to tune in.
Yeah, and I think it is a time of choosing between love and fear. Fear is about separation, love is about community, connection. And it's a big difference between the two. And we will make decisions based on fear. Fear promises you everything and delivers nothing in the long term.
Yeah.
Well, it does. It delivers pain and suffering when we make decisions based on fear. But when we, love promises us nothing, but actually ultimately delivers us everything. So that's really the choice that we get to make, is to trust. It's to absolutely trust in the unknown. Trust in the unknown.
Yeah,
So that's really where we are.
Yeah, that's not always easy.
Not easy, but this is a time of, I believe
this is where we've been called on to do it.
Yeah, this is a time of testing. It's a real testing. Yeah. And the consequences. So let's talk about the throat chakra. Let's start there with the color blue. Blue. I'm wearing a blue shirt tonight, so
often
that's
sky
the throat
blue.
chakra.
Like a sky blue or bright blue. I see it as a kind of sky blue. It's the throat chakra.
Yeah, you're also wearing a nice blue.
Yeah. As we spoke last time, the chakras so the throat chakra would come out from here like a funnel, and it would go out the back of your neck as well. So it rules this whole area, the throat, the larynx, the windpipe, the neck, this whole area around here is the throat, the thyroid gland as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the center for our communication, for how we speak, how we communicate, how we interact.
And do we have any blockages in those areas? And you feel the blockages, I mean, it generally as a sore throat, as a closing down. For example, anger is quite often felt in the throat as a closing energy, anger. And what is anger but resistance, resentment, closing down? That's what anger is. And I believe we're going through a time now of clearing. Michelle mentioned clearing. And right now it's about looking at where the blockages are and clearing them. And how do we clear? How do we clear anger? How do we clear this resistance that we have in our body? Well, quite simply, you bring light into that area. And what is the light? The ultimate light is love. And the light of love is to do with allowing, accepting, and appreciating everything that's ever happened to you. Let go of the resistance. When we resist something, when we say no to something in life, we tie a knot. And I know I used to have a lot of knots in my throat. I used to have so many sore throats all the time, and I used to feel this, and I couldn't express myself in those days because I was knotted here in my throat.
Yeah.
And only by accepting and allowing and even appreciating everything you've been through, then you open your throat. Yeah. And this is a wonderful physical element of sound. Sound comes through the throat, and your vocal cords work far, far better when they're relaxed compared to when they're tense and tight and taut.
Yeah, it's if you think of the word communication, if you narrow it down, it's commune, to commune with, to listen, to speak, to communicate, is really to be in a dialogue. So how is your dialogue with yourself and with others? Are you listening or are you just talking? So it's really the imbalances come from where you feel like your throat is blocked. It'll be where you actually feel like you haven't got a voice, where there's a situation in your life where you can't speak, where you get shut down, or you feel that you're being shut down. When the throat chakra is clear, there's an ease of speaking. There's a speaking with integrity. So you bring the energy up from your heart into your throat, and it just comes out. It's not about thought necessarily. It's just you speaking from your authentic place when your throat chakra is open. When it's blocked, there'll be pain there. There'll be tightness. There can be stinging or tingling, or there can be a feeling of literally feeling like you're choking. There can be a lot of tension around this whole area, the mouth, the jaw, this whole area. And we tend to do that when we're feeling anxious. We tend to clench our jaws, and we tend to, then that clenches our
And our
neck, and then that affects the shoulders, and then we're actually we're kind of in a vice grip. And I think the throat chakra is one of the chakras that gets blocked quite easily.
Oh yeah, it does, because it's emotions,
Yeah.
through the emotion and expression. Those are the two there, the blue. And you mentioned the word ease in opening up the throat, and in fact, one of the sounds that we can make to really help ease that vibration is E, as in seed. So it's a long E. It's E. That actually opens up. It's one of the ancient Vedic sounds which you can use to open up the throat. So try that. And also it's to do with the color blue. So if you have a problem here, you can wear blue.
Yeah, wear a blue scarf.
Wear blue scarf.
Wear blue.
Yeah.
Play with the color blue. And it's about air, it's about space. So imagine that sort of airy space is coming in and actually clearing that throat chakra, those feelings of tightness or the feelings of constriction in your throat. And then communicate. So if you have something to say and you can't necessarily say it to the person, speak it out anyway. That's really important. That write it out, but even more important is to talk it out.
Yeah.
So just, people think you're nuts if they hear you, but it doesn't matter. You can just talk about what you're actually processing.
But what if they lock you up? Because
they won't. They're too busy locking other people up.
Okay. It's amazing because this month in our space community, we have a couple of online communities, and the one is Inner Space. If you don't know about that, then you can have a look at our website, journeysofawakening.com. It's a lovely community, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this month, the theme for this month has been heart communication. And that's real. We've discussed it in great depth, what real communication is. Real communication isn't getting someone to do necessarily what you want them to do. It's not about forcing your will on someone else. That's not really what true communication is about. In fact, the best communication, believe it or not, is actually stillness, silence, which leads you into presence. Presence is the best communication. They say God talks to us in stillness. All else is a bad interpretation. So it's to come back to real communication. And Michelle mentioned about talking, and there's also listening. Listening is a vital part of communication. The ears connect with the throat chakra. And so listening, holding the space, that's where you really open communication, when you hold a space for the other to express themselves or to be as they are. So it's important not only speaking, but also listening, also holding that space. That's really, really important. And in fact, the throat chakra is very much about purification.
Yes.
Purification. And so it's to purify your thoughts, to purify your emotions, to purify your intentions. These are all aspects of the throat chakra. And the purest intentions come from your heart. And heart is about accepting, allowing, appreciating. And if your words are in alignment with your heart, then your communication goes to a completely different level. Instead of forcing situations, you now find the world becomes a miraculous, synchronistic place where situations, circumstances, events, and people just mold themselves in a way that is really great for everyone concerned, instead of trying to force your way through that. When you force, you close your throat chakra down, and force always comes from fear. Fear and force go together. And what we're moving through now is a different paradigm. Instead of fearing, we are loving, and loving is opening and accepting and trusting that life is more intelligent than your rational mind. And so that aspect opens up your throat. So this is a time of purification, purifying your emotions and your communications. Purification.
And just noticing the communication that you have for yourself. So where you might find that you do something silly, or you leave something behind somewhere, and you didn't do it as you thought you should do it. Just notice the communication. Notice the way you communicate with yourself.
How do you speak to yourself? Without
judgment, but if you can catch yourself talking to yourself in a way that you would not want to talk to anybody, or which you wouldn't want anybody else to talk to, is to just in that moment, that the clearing's possible right in that moment. So You know, if you do something silly and you say, oh, you silly twit, or whatever it is, in that moment, as you have that thought, as you speak to yourself in that way, just notice it and just say, no, I don't need to do that. I wouldn't do that to anybody else. And breathe and drop down into your heart. And then release it. Just release those words. Because those words are actually creating further communication and further blockages. Because the way we speak to ourselves is the way other people very often speak to us.
Mm.
So we'll say, I'm surrounded by angry people. Well, how angry are you at yourself? So it's just to be aware of how we communicate with ourselves, really, isn't it?
And when we catch ourselves speaking badly to ourselves, you know, I often say to people that if you spoke to your best friend the way you speak to yourself, you probably wouldn't have a best friend.
No.
So it's when you start to notice, Michelle said, when you start to notice your self-talk, when you start to notice that, you know, how you berate yourself, in that moment, it's not then to criticize yourself for condemning yourself, because then you're just going around the same circle, round and round and round. No, what you can do there, which is fun, is you chuckle. And laughter opens your throat up. So you laugh at the silliness of yourself, condemning yourself for forgetting your car keys or for doing whatever you do. You know, I go downstairs and I forget, what did I go downstairs for? I have to go back upstairs to try and remember why I went downstairs. And, you know, you can berate yourself for that. But what you're doing is you're closing when you berate yourself. Or you can laugh. It's funny. So you forgot what you went there for.
And
you
then
know?
say,
and
I love you,
and
John.
That chuckling opens your throat. It really does.
Yeah.
And the key to healing each one of the blockages in our chakras is love. And love, again, is about opening. It's about accepting. It's about appreciating. It's about allowing. That's what love is about. So allow this, you know, when you've been criticizing yourself, just laugh at it. And say, yes, I did do that. Isn't that funny? You know, and that lightness,
change it as well.
That lightness opens you up. So what lightness does is it brings you into the present moment.
Yeah.
Where condemning is taking you into time, in a story in your head.
And it's constricting.
So to open our chakras, the key to opening them is to let go of fear. And what is fear? But false evidence appearing real. I am stupid. That's false evidence appearing real. You're not stupid. It's not at all. The act that you did may have not been the brightest act that you did, but laugh at it, let it go. And that laughter opens you up to love. And where there is any blockage, you can love it open. Love it open.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love it open.
So love your throat. If there's anger there, love the anger even. You know, one of the things that we often do is we suppress anger. No, I shouldn't be angry. And in that suppression, we create more blockages to us. No, open up, sit on a chair and be angry for 30 seconds. Just be completely angry. Don't act on it. Don't say anything. Just be angry. And you'll find that at the end of 30 seconds, you start laughing at the silliness of the situation. So it's allowing the emotion to be there. You don't have to act on it, and you don't have to outsource the emotion. You make me angry. No, it's not that. It's that I'm feeling angry. And just sit here and feel angry. And very, very quickly it dissipates because you're allowing it. You're loving it to death. So that's a very important thing about the throat chakra. But you said wearing blue.
And also sound, playing with sound.
Yeah.
So using gongs, using chanting sounds.
Yeah.
You know, humming. Yeah, ooh, he. You know, those big sounds. If you want to open this, is actually sing it out. You don't have to be a singer. Just use your voice. Because that clears it. Sitting listening to music, allowing that music to actually penetrate in, directing that music into this area. It's very, very powerful, especially if it's the right music.
Yeah.
So if it's got the right vibration, so high vibration music, where you can just sit quietly with a candle and just listen to music. Those things, you know, sometimes chimes, or just sitting listening to the sound, listening to silence, really connecting with what you can hear. That also clears. So all those things can clear.
And also crystals.
crystals as well.
Lapis
Lazuli.
Yeah,
and
that works very well.
turquoise.
Turquoise, yeah.
Aquamarine. So blue stones, blue agate.
I remember once
So
I was
you can-
doing it
Yeah.
with the aura machine that I have. I've got a biofeedback machine. You put your hand on a plate and it registers your aura. And the first guy that came up from the audience, he put his hand on, his throat chakra was completely closed. And I was doing it in a shop in Somerset West, and the owner of the shop, it was a crystal shop, funny enough, and he gave this guy a crystal to hold. And in the evening, when I'd done a few more people, he came back and put his hand on the plate, and his throat was completely open. Just in a few moments, maybe about 20 minutes of holding that crystal, I can't remember what crystal it was, but opened his throat completely. And the guy was blown away. He'd just come back from England, and he'd come here because he had a problem with his throat. And his doctor in the UK said, go back to South Africa, because apparently the environment here was better for him.
Sure.
And just holding that throat, holding that stone, opened his throat. So it doesn't take long to clear the blockages. But the main medicine is presence, to be present with whatever you're feeling, whatever you're communicating, and communicate from your heart. That's the real,
bringing that energy
that's the real opening.
From here.
Yeah.
And it's also connected to the sacral chakra in the sense that, sacral and the solar plexus chakra, in the sense that your creativity is expressed through your throat chakra very often.
Yeah. So that's why we've done the other chakras. It's important to have those balanced so that we can work in a more balanced way with the heart coming up to the throat.
Yeah.
So it's purification.
A lot of
Purification,
detail, little bits. So just to bring awareness that we've got these energy centers, and they're like little beads, and so they're in a line. And when one of them's out of whack, the whole system kind of goes out of whack. It's a little bit like when your spine's out, when your neck's out, you really don't feel balanced at all. So when you're actually able to work with the chakras often, I often do chakra balancing meditations because it feels better afterwards. You feel like you're balanced. So use them, use the colors, use the sounds, do some research. They're really powerful.
I do a chakra balancing one almost every single morning before I start my day.
Yeah.
It's really powerful, really important.
Very powerful.
The next chakra which we're moving to is the third eye, coming up here to the brow chakra.
Yeah, it's referred to as the third eye or the brow chakra.
Yeah.
It's different people, hey? Yeah. And that the color's indigo or like a deep purple. It's a very deep color. And for me, the energy, I was reflecting on it earlier, is quite a deep energy. It's the energy of vision, of dreams, of what I spoke about Neptune. It's the energy of the connection that we have to our inner world and the outer. The bigger picture. It's that place of knowing, isn't it? It's the place of wisdom. It's the place where we just know. We have insight. We get insight there. And it's connected with the pineal gland, pituitary gland as well.
That's right.
So very often the pineal gland will be blocked, where we feel we're disconnected. We feel like we're overwhelmed. We're confused. We don't know which way to go. We don't know what we believe. That's probably this is a little blocked. So it's a very important one to work with. Even though you might not see visions and see all sorts of things like that, you can actually just work at just focusing your attention in this area here. It's just there. Above your eyebrows.
It's a very important one to work with at the moment because it's very much to do with illusion and denial.
Yeah.
Those are the two energies that block that chakra, illusion and denial. And right now we can be seen almost as an apocalypse. An apocalypse means for that which is hidden to be revealed. In other words, for the illusion to be dissolved. And there are so many people clinging to an illusion of reality right now, and that brings pain and suffering and closes down from the higher guidance that's there. So at the moment it really is about letting go of the idea of the way we think things are and allowing reality to come into our awareness. And the reality I'm speaking about is that intuitive reality, that absolute knowingness, and being open to everything and attached to nothing. That's really the opening of this, and to know that there is guidance there. So we can be guided through our vision, through our third eye vision, but we have to let go of denial. denial. And that's an important one at the moment, because there is a lot of cognitive dissonance where we don't want to see reality as it really is, because it's it can be quite challenging. And so it's to break the illusion. And that is painful, because, every illusion has the ending of an illusion, and that's disillusionment. And disillusionment comes about having our expectations broken. But if you are willing to let go of expectations, then you won't have that pain of disillusionment. And in fact, love has no expectations. And the journey we're on right now is a journey back to love, as we said earlier. And love has no illusions, has no expectations, has no needs. And as we let go of those, so we open automatically our third eye. That's the cave of Brahman, they say. It is the cave of Brahman, which is going right back into the pituitary gland.
It's almost like, for me, it's a very peaceful place. It's a sort of a deep purple. It's almost like the ocean, but not quite. It's a very deep, it's a silky, quiet place. And when you go into that place, there might just be, it might not be words, might not be visions, but it'll be an inner knowing. There's an inner knowing, and you have a connection there to that inner knowing. And the more, it's like anything, I think we need to build muscles. And just like we build muscles if we're trying to get fit, when we work with these things, visualization can help to actually open that up. Hum.
Yeah.
Word, the
Opens it up. In
it
fact,
opens it. You can
the
feel
mantra
it.
for the third eye is with the emphasis being on the the that opens the third eye. And
sound of creation.
It's the sound of creation. In fact, the third eye is our very access to creation. It's our command. We can command through the third eye. It's visualization. When you're visualizing, you're commanding to the universe. You're not asking, you're not hoping. You're actually giving a command for it's almost like creating a blueprint for what you would like to experience.
Yeah, you're sending it up, and you visualize. So that's why so many people say, I visualized that and it happened. Good or bad.
Yeah.
Happens both ways.
Yeah.
So if you're visualizing a fearful future, just know that you're visualizing what you don't want.
Oh, you're giving energy to what
you're giving energy to it, and visual pictures that we visualize are very, very powerful.
It's your power.
Powerful.
It's your power.
So you have a little idea and a visual image of something, you might just manifest it, just like that. And you might find at the moment that you're manifesting very quickly on both sides of the scale. So you have a really sort of disempowering thought, and you might find that you actually manifest it. And the same applies where you have a powerful thought. So that visualization is an important tool. It's a very useful, very important tool. And you can just practice visualizing the way you visualize. And a lot of people say, I can't visualize, but everybody can visualize in the way that they visualize. Some people have kind of 3D movies in their heads. I don't. And some people just get a sense of something. So if you close your eyes and you visualize your lounge, you have a sense of what that is. That's the way you visualize. Yeah. And I think a lot of people get stuck because they think that they can't visualize, or they're not strong visualizers. But we are. As soon as you think about something, you've formed a mental image in your mind about it.
Yeah.
That's how powerful it is. And then that sends out vibrations into the universe. So that's where the command comes from. Yeah.
So it's very much about perception and command. And where there is a blockage, again, it'll be a blockage of fear. Fear of your own creative power, number one. Fear of the future. Fear and regret of the past. That's another blockage. It's all to do with fear. And again, the medicine for that is love. Absolute love. And we can always ask for help where there is a blockage, maybe in the throat or maybe the third eye. If there is a blockage there, if you feel there's a blockage there, you ask for help, that guidance. There is help and guidance there. The angelic realm cannot interfere with our journey and our path. They're not entitled to interfere with our free will. But when we use our free will to ask for that to come in, ask for that blockage to be cleared, then their power can be activated. So if you feel you have a blockage caused by fear, ask for those unconscious patterns, those subconscious patterns that you have created, that has created that block, for that to be dissolved.
Yeah.
Let the unconscious patterns within me that created that blockage, that fear, to be dissolved. And ask for the help with that process. We do need that help, and you can ask for it, and it is given as you ask. Your command, it's again, you're commanding it. You know, when you ask, you don't ask in a little whimsical way. You actually command it. Unblock, send in the energy, the vibrations, the frequencies to unblock it. And you command. We are so powerful within us, but we do need to ask and ask with a commanding sort of intention in you. And ask knowing that it is so. So you're not asking maybe it might. No, you ask knowing it is done. And it is done. Very, very powerful that. And be open to all images. You know, sometimes we get scared and we don't want to see certain aspects of life. It doesn't matter. Open and allow whatever images need to be given to you, but always ask that this power that you have within you to open your third eye is for the highest possible vibration, the highest good of all involved. And I do believe in putting protective energies around us. And, you know, putting a beautiful golden bubble around you, or a blue-white light bubble around you, and calling on Archangel Michael. Those are very powerful and I think very necessary tools to do on a daily ritual, to do that. Maybe in the shower, when you're showering, put that beautiful cleansing bubble around yourself. But do it. I think we do need to do that at this stage.
Yeah, and use crystals. Crystals are very high energy beings.
Yeah.
They are alive.
Yeah.
Amethyst for this that beautiful deep purple. Use it. Have it in your little sanctuary, or wherever you have your still time, your quiet time. You know, just you work with see what some people are very, very connected to crystals. Not everybody, but they're still doing their work, whether you feel like you're connected or not. So just see what you can do then, obviously, and then wearing the colors as well. The deep purple, that deep indigo, that sense of being able to just surrender, that sense of being able to surrender and trust. That's very much about this being open. Where we have lack of trust, where we feel like we're not imaginative, when we feel like we're not able to visualize anything in the future, that's closed. So to just focus on energy there.
And fear closes it down. And if you would like, I have a guided visualization program which I use personally quite a lot. It's called Mind Sync Healing. It uses binaural beat to help get your brain into a very open, very relaxed brain state, and then uses music and nature sounds and visualization to help balance your chakras. Mind Sync Healing is available on my website, which is johnhomewood.net, and you can download it. And I use it a lot. In fact, I used it this afternoon.
And it reboots you.
It does. It really does. Particularly if you're feeling a bit tired, you do the mind sync, and it's really very powerful. So you can use that.
So we're bringing the energy really up from those base chakras up here this week. So just connect with these two together. I mean, you don't have to, but it's quite a nice connection, because they're both about communication.
Perception, communication.
It's perception, communication, what we're taking in, what we're giving out, how we're communing, how we're connecting, how we're dialoguing with ourselves, are we dialoguing with our bodies, are we dialoguing with our loved ones, our colleagues. So, and then obviously which is how we're dialoguing with the bigger, all that is.
Dialogue with love. From your heart, speak from your heart, and also vision with your heart. And heart is not about getting my needs met. It's about us. It's about the collective.
And I think that's the other thing. I think we're going through a time now where it's not just about us. This is a time where this is really about humanity. We're talking about humanity here. So we can feed into the field. We can feed whatever vibration we would like to feed into the field. Is really important to know what we're feeding into the field. Are we feeding in love, or are we feeding in fear?
Yeah.
Are we putting more darkness into the field, or are we putting more light into the field? Yeah. So it's not to be oblivious to the darkness and to the issues, because that's also a block. That's resistance. So it's to say, yes, I see it. It's not something that I'm not going to hang out there, but I can see it, and I choose this. I choose to actually give love, but I'm not blind to what's going on. Because a lot of people are also saying that, you know, I can't look at it all because I want to stay in the light. And for me, there's a bit of a resistance there, because you're actually not seeing the full picture then. And when you see the full picture, you can then be a warrior of light.
You can accept it, embrace it.
You can be one of the people that actually bring light to the world, as opposed to somebody who's scared to look.
Yeah, that's the illusion. That's the illusion that we spoke about.
It's the veil's
to
dropping.
see through that. The veil is coming down. There's so much being revealed at the moment, and not to turn your head away, it's to look directly at it and to dissolve it with acceptance, with allowing, and to know that even this is part of our spiritual transformation. So that's where the appreciation comes in. And, you know, there is a lot of fear being spread at the moment, particularly by the media in relationship to health. We won't mention the V word. But if any of you worried about your physical health and you would like ways of boosting your protection, well, your body's immune system is number one. And I have a 13-point suggestion list on my website, johnhomewood.net. And you can go and if you just put in my website and just put immunity, and it'll come up 13 steps there. And it really, I mean, it's powerful. Our bodies are amazing, absolutely amazing, better than anything any pharmaceutical company can come up with. I'm absolutely guaranteed. And our focus should be on your own power, not looking outside of yourself for solutions, but going within and trusting this God-given, beautiful, wonderful, miraculous body that you have to sort anything out. And it can sort anything out if it's given the right environment.
Again, it's the intuition, it's the connection, it's dialoguing, it's saying, is this healthy? Is this healthy? How does this feel for me?
How does it feel?
How does this feel for me here? Would I want to put that in my body? Would I want to feed myself that? It's a choice in every moment. But we only can make that choice if we're centered and we're in the present. We can choose what we want to eat. We can choose how to boost our immune systems. We have a miraculous body.
We do.
I mean,
Powerful body.
It is absolute miracle that we're walking around in these bodies.
Yeah.
And these bodies can fight. They've got the capacity to fight what they need to fight.
Yeah.
Particularly if we look after them.
Yeah.
So that's where our focus should be right now.
Yeah. You know, the advertisers always, first of all, disempower you with some information, and then they provide the solution.
Yeah.
And I say, no, don't listen to advertisers. You are the solution. The solution is within you. You have the power. So right now it's about breaking the illusion. That's the throat chakra, breaking the illusion, seeing through the illusion, and trusting life, trusting this God energy, whatever you want to call it, the divine, this universal consciousness, life.
Which you are part of. You're not separate from it.
Yeah, you're not separate from
it.
And
that is what this awakening, if you want to call it that, the awakening to the higher consciousness, is that we're realizing that we are that. We are part of that.
And we are powerful beyond measure.
We are not separate. And as soon as we hold ourselves as separate and little, we are undermining who we really are.
Yeah.
So that, you know, these chakra series are just it's part of. It's just to actually connect with our real true power, and that's we lighting ourselves up, all of our energy systems, so that we can actually be in our true power.
And our true power is presence.
Yeah.
Presence, time, past and future, disempower us. Presence is our divine energy, if you want to put it that way.
And we can deal with anything if we're
can.
present.
We can, Do you want to give us a bit of a guided visualization before we go?
I will. Be not a very long one, but we'll do that to close. Okay. So let's get ourselves comfy and take a very beautiful deep breath in. And as you breathe in, blow your belly out, so you're actually breathing through your tummy. you bring the belly out, and then bring the breath all the way up to the top of the chest, and then release it on the out breath. And really listen to the sound of your breath as you breathe in. Feel that breath filling you up, expanding you. And then sigh it out. And don't be afraid to make sounds. Sounds are important. Let's try that again. Big deep breath in. And a sigh out. Feel how that feels when you actually make a sound as you breathe out. Let's do that once more. Breathing in. And sigh it out. Now let's connect with that throat chakra. So right there in the middle of your neck, your throat. And just feel the air as it comes in through that area of your body as you breathe in through your nose, and it moves all the way down into your lungs. See if you can create a space for that. See if you can create a space by relaxing and releasing your neck, relaxing and releasing your jaw, your mouth, and opening the throat. Imagine a beautiful sky blue light coming straight into your throat chakra and almost igniting it. Imagine it as a spinning wheel of blue light, creating a space, expanding it, and helping to clear away any blockages that might be in this whole area of your throat, your neck, your thyroid, your whole speech center, your sound center, also your hearing center. So if you can just surround that with this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blue light, very spacious light. And as you do that, you can say the affirmations to yourself and see if they work for you. I speak freely with confidence. I speak freely with confidence. It's safe to express myself. If you can feel that as you're saying those words to yourself. Everything I do is an expression of love. Bring that heart energy up into your throat chakra and say those words. Everything I do is an expression of love. Take a beautiful deep breath in, and on the out breath just release any blocks that you have in that area, in the throat area. And now take your attention up, in between, just above your eyebrows, in the middle, just between your eyebrows. And connect with that area as a dark blue, sort of indigo purple color. You could even imagine a third eye there, and get a sense of, if you did have a third eye there, would that eye be open or closed? Or would it be kind of halfway? Just intuitively, how does it feel for you? Do you feel that your imagination is open, that your vision is open? Do you feel tuned in, intuitive, connected? If not, possibly there's a little block there. So just connect with that blue, beautiful purple blue, deep, very beautiful color. Connect with that as a spinning wheel of light in the middle of your forehead that goes all the way through your head to the back. And allow that to grow and expand until it's spinning smoothly. As you focus your full attention on that area between the eyebrows. Say the words to yourself. I trust my intuition. Focusing on that area, I trust my intuition. Breathing in and out, and expand that out. My awareness is a gift. My awareness is a gift. I focus on what I love. Expand that. I trust my connection with the universe. I trust my guidance. And keep just centering your attention right in the middle, between the brows. You can use these affirmations and these techniques anytime you feel disconnected, anytime you feel fearful, anytime you feel that you're not heard, anytime that you feel confused, overwhelmed. Just bring yourself back. Bring yourself back into the present. And connect with any area that just needs a little bit of care, a little bit of kindness, a little bit of opening, a little bit of release. See yourself, feel yourself as an open channel for divine light coming in through the top of your head and moving all the way through your body. Through not only your physical body, but all of your other bodies, your etheric body, your mental body, your emotional body. Allow that light to just open up and ignite all your chakras. And release anything that you don't need out through the bottoms of your feet. Now reconnect with your breath. And just feel how you feel in this moment. Connect with what you can see behind your eyes in this moment. Hold your eyes still. Just feel the peace that's right there underneath the surface noise. Always there. Now take a deep breath in and a releasing breath out. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.
This was beautiful. Wasn't that lovely? Wasn't that really nice? Yeah.
Good.
Right, we've got an affirmation card for the week ahead. Let's just see what Michelle chooses.
Where are they?
Blue one for the throat.
I allow what is to be. This is love.
I allow what is to be. This is love. It's allowing. Allowing opens the throat and opens the third eye. Allow what is to be. This is love. I'll put it up on the Facebook page after we finish here, and you can use that for your affirmation for the coming week. And we'll end this series on the chakras next week with the crown chakra.
We will do.
That's the important one, connecting to your real essence.
Absolutely.
So we'll do that.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for being with us. Yeah,
Lovely to
thank
have you
you.
with us.
If you enjoyed tonight, please like and share it. It really does help. So just press the share button, get it out there.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks,
God bless.
everyone.
Have a beautiful week further. We love you all.
Sweet dreams.